everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Definitely share this video. We're going inside the penitentiary to speak to a brother named Jay that got smashed on a conspiracy by a very vicious judge down in Texas. He's going to talk to us right from the pen. Listen, brother, tell the people who you are, tell them about your situation, and tell them how much time you got and where you're from, man.
All right, man. I hate to have to wear a disguise on this, man, but you know what it is, man. I want to say thanks, Chad, for everything you do for us, man. You're doing a lot for the dudes in here, but, man, basically, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, and, I was out of prison for 7 months in 2013, and I got caught with 2 grams of methamphetamine and pieces of a gun, not even a fully functional firearm. I received 2 5-year sentences in the state joint for a felon possession of a firearm and manufactured delivery 1 to 4 grams. I set out my time in the state joint, thinking this was it, that I'm going to do my little time, I'm going to go home. I had got all the knucklehead out of me, and that was basically it. What really broke my heart was the way that they did it. They waited till I made parole in 2014. I was down. In 2016, I made parole. And when in Texas and TDC, when they release you, they take you to a cage, they dress you out. Everybody's getting dressed that day, and I remember thinking, every time I get released from prison, you always think, man, they're going to fuck me over, man. I'm going to get left here. But it's never actually happened until this time. They released everybody ahead of me, and I'm sitting there at the end thinking, shit, why'd they call my name? There's one of the dudes sitting with me. He says, man, I'm waiting on the feds. I think to myself, oh, shit, They said, yeah, you ain't actually leaving today, man. The U.S. Marshals are here to get you. So they scooped me up. They let me know real early on. They weren't really worried about me. They knew I wasn't shit, but they wanted me to cooperate with them and just talk. Since I wouldn't, man, they threatened me with life if I went to trial. And 17 of my co-defendants went to trial. They all got life, so I wasn't trying to hear that. So I took a 20-year sentence and just went on down the road. Ended up at Beaumont Medium,
You copped out the 20 years for
the rest is history.
You copped out the 2 years for 20 years for 2 grams of meth?
I had 2 grams of meth, man. I ended up getting charged with so much ghost dope. I can't even tell you what they charged me with, man. I was out for 6 months. I had one chick say that I sold her 4 to 8 ounces every day that I was out. I lived in a hotel, brother. I don't know how I did that.
That's horrible, man. They do some nasty stuff, man, especially with that judge down there. That Judge McBride, man. He's a tough dude, man, and he just hammers people. Ain't there a book out about him? Yeah,
there's a book. There's a book called Burden of Proof. It's on my desk. As a matter of fact, I got the book over here. I'm going to grab it. There's a book about our case. They call it Operation Icebreaker. I got like 900 some odd co-defendants. I got so many co-defendants, I don't even know them. You know what I mean? So they got, they got the Families Against Mandatory Minimums on the internet. They got the whole thing about Judge McBride, trying to get that dude off the bench. He's just been slamming people for so long. He don't care about nothing. Here's the book right here. Burden of Proof. It's all about our case. It's about Fort Worth. It's about how the Northern District of Texas really doesn't care about the law. They're going to do what they want.
Let me ask you this. Was that an ABT case, or was that just a regular old case?
It was mostly an ABT case, man. And I got roped into it just basically from 2 girls, man. Those knuckleheads, I'm not going to really speak on them. You know the deal with them. But they stirred up a bunch of shit in that city, man. And I was already gone in prison. Somehow my name got tossed in it, and I'm just not built like that to sit and tell, man. That's what they wanted you to do, was tell. It ain't in me, man. So, here I am.
I know you said you don't really want to talk about them dudes, but I want to talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about them.
All right, so let me ask you this. I mean, in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, are they respected, or?
You're a motherfucker. Not really, man. Only by themselves, right? I mean, they love themselves, but who else loves them?
Yeah, I mean, they got a bad rap, or what?
Yeah, definitely. They get run off everywhere. They think that they're the shit, you know what I mean, and they're the best of the best, and nobody else can stand with them or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, they've been knocked off some yards, their own yards too. Sometimes Pollock.
They were knocked off a yard while I was there.
Let me ask: do they do dirtball shit or no?
Come on, man. You know that.
Hey, what I know, the people don't know. The people want to know. We were talking about the ABTs, and we kind of lost a little bit of reception there. But how about in the state system? Them dudes do have some juice in the state system, don't they?
That's right.
Are they ABTs or TABs?
No, man. That's where it's all confused. In the state system, in the states, in the state system, ABTs are all in seg. They're not even in population. If you're a confirmed gang member in the state of Texas, you go straight to the box. You don't walk around that place. So when you're walking around with the gorillas and the killers, you're independent like us. There's no gang members walking in the state of Texas.
Oh, so
If they are, they're undercover.
So all the gang members are slammed down over there in the Texas department.
That's right. If you've got political ink on you, you go straight to the box in Texas.
What's political ink? Tell the people.
Any swastikas, lightning bolts, white power shit, anything like that, you go straight to the box. So you're not walking around like that in Texas.
Wow. What about, so in the BOP though, I mean, they're out and about in the BOP, right?
When I came from Texas maximum security prison straight to Beaumont Medium, which is like a maximum security prison. I see these dudes with their patches and their swastikas, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is a trip. Nobody's checking these dudes behind this shit, you know, because in the state of Texas, the dude's gonna try your ass for that real quick. You know what I mean? You better be representing that shit.
Let me, in the state of Texas, if you're black and you got gang signs on you and all that stuff, do they lock you up?
You're good. No, negative. There's a if you're a security threat group like Azteca, Mexican Mafia, Aryan Circle, Aryan Brother, they lock you up. Other than that, they let you walk.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So look, man. So you went to Beaumont Medium and you know that was like a mini pen. I know they ran it like a pen. There's the politics are tough. Did you see some Did you see some crazy things in there?
Man, the third day I was there, dude, this native jumped on one of my homeboys coming out the chow hall and stabbed him in the neck. Third day I was there, I'm thinking, what the fuck is this, man? So yeah, man, it was wild. There was a riot while I was there. It was wild, man.
Let me ask you about the native dude. He hit a white dude?
He was trying to get off the yard, man. It almost started some shit between the natives and us. He was trying to get off the yard. It was known he was trash, but yeah, he hit a white dude. It wasn't a bad enough stabbing that the dude had to go to the hospital. They never even caught on to it, you know what I mean?
So what happened to the dude? What happened after he hit the white dude? Did he go to the hole? What happened?
He ran off. It was his way of checking in, basically.
Okay, so no one got to smash him.
No one got. The thing about Beaumont Medium, every time a bus comes, that next day, everybody's sure to go to breakfast because you're going to see somebody get their brain stomped out. You know what I mean? Because they realize somebody's no good. So every day after a bus, you go out, it's just like watching a movie. Go watch somebody get danced on the next day. You know what I mean? And when you first get there as a white boy, you're on deck. So the next time somebody comes up, you're the one doing it. You know what I mean?
So did you ever have to put in work over there?
Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. My homeboys were the biggest car in Fort Worth Medium, the Fort Worth, Texas boys. My whole conspiracy was over there. So yeah, they had a lot of love for me when I got there, but I still had to do, I wasn't special. You know what I mean?
So you had a bunch of independent honkies over there then?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So let me ask you about shot callers. Was there a shot caller?
Yeah, good dude, man, from Austin, Texas, man. He's actually my celly, man. Good dude, man.
Good. So the shot caller made good decisions then. He wasn't a bad dude.
No, he had a good head on his shoulders, man. Good dude. So yeah, no, we had it good while I was over there, man. We had it good.
And you ended up leaving there, and you're obviously somewhere else now.
Yeah, I'm somewhere else. I'm off in the South, man, but I kind of got into some trouble. I got to tripping when I lost my appeal, lost my 2255, kind of looked at that paper and saw 2030 something and thought, son of a bitch, man. I got to tripping. I ended up way out here, but you know, that doesn't have to be the end of it. I see what you're doing. I see people getting out all the time, and I just, you know, we got hope now. So something's got to shake. This conspiracy, man. I got no evidence, no drugs against me, no wiretaps, no pictures, no nothing. Just 2 or 3 people saying something. That's all it takes, man. It's crazy.
And how old were you when you got arrested on this?
32 years old. They're going to try to make me be 51 when I get home. I had a daughter that was being born when I come down. They're going to say she's 19 when I get home. I've never met her. So it's tough, man.
Well, let's hope that don't happen, bro. Let's hope that, you know, you get out on clemency. I mean, compassionate release is probably tough, but... So,
that's right. Well, the biggest part is, you know, I've never been arrested for more than the 2.5 grams I was arrested with. That's the most I've ever been arrested with. I've been arrested with under a gram. I've been arrested with a 1 to 4, and I've been arrested for some stolen cars. They're trying to say I was selling pounds and pounds of meth. I've never even seen that. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
You hear a lot of stories like that in the feds, right? So let me ask you this. Like I was saying, you hear a lot of them stories in the feds where people just get smashed, bro, for ghost dope. And for those folks that don't know what ghost dope is, that's usually when a person comes in and they testify on you, or a whole bunch of people, and they say like what you said. Oh, he was selling me 4 to 8 ounces a day, and they never found no drugs. They found 2 grams,
They never found nothing.
But yet you're sentenced for 10 kilos that they never found.
That's right. That's right.
And most dudes come to jail with no money in their pocket. They ain't got nothing. They ain't selling 4 or 8 ounces of meth a day. Ridiculous.
That's exactly right. I got the same sentence that the dude from Blow, George Young. He had airplanes full of cocaine, man. You know what I mean? I was living in a hotel, maybe getting 7 grams at a time. It's a little bit different. You know what I mean?
I understand. It's outrageous. So let me ask you this. You were a young man. You got sentenced to 20 years. What did it feel like when the judge hit that gavel and said, I'm sending you to prison for 20 years?
Oh, you know what? It took me like 2 years before I actually dealt with that. I was still standing in that courtroom for about 2 years, just letting it sink in. It wasn't until I got down the line that I realized, man, it's real. It wasn't until I lost my appeal that I kind of went, son of a bitch, Man, I can't tell you how it felt. I just knew it was an ugly feeling. The whole time it was an ugly feeling, thinking, man, you're getting released, and they turn you over into the hands of the U.S. Marshals. You know what I mean? So that was a terrible day for me.
Well, I mean, I can relate, bro, because I was supposed to get out June 5th. They appealed my case right when I was walking out of the prison, and they stopped me right at the gate. I see my family in the parking lot, so I know what it feels like to be turned around. But, by grace, I ended up getting out, man, a couple weeks later. But you're still sitting in there, so we're gonna work on that, man. We're gonna try to get you out of there, man.
That's right, bro.
I mean that. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you for free, bro. Personally, I'm gonna help you personally.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that more than you know, brother.
Let's talk about prison a little more, because people like to hear about prison, right? And I like to bring real stories because I want kids to see. I mean, your criminal situation where you're in your 30s and you end up with 20 years. I want people to see that. There might be a 25-year-old dude out there right now thinking, man, he's just getting high, he's good, and he could possibly end up with 20 or 30 years in the feds.
Yeah, I want to say this. I never understood the conspiracy or the ghost dope thing, you know what I mean? And I grew up buying the lie that a lot of people did in our generation, the whole MTV, hip-hop, drug dealing, hustling is cool, trapping, I want to be all this, they're still doing it, glorifying it. They're not realizing people are passing out hundreds a month, man, and it's not you get with it. It doesn't have to be your homeboy staying stiff or you staying stiff. You're not beating the police. This came down to 2 girls that I had sex with 5-6 years ago, got caught with some dope, and it said my name. And they made it right. It goes Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and then what they said. It's the gospel truth, you know what I mean? And it breaks my heart, but it's true. There's nothing you can do to stop it. If they decide, 2 people decide that you've done something, they want to put it on you, the United States government will hold you responsible for it, especially if you're a criminal with a body full of tattoos like me. You're screwed, brother.
For sure, man. For sure. You ever seen anybody get killed in prison? Keep it real.
Most definitely. I watched the Mexicans stomp a dude to death there at Beaumont for the first time I ever saw that from the laundry, man, and it was a sickening thing. Watching after he quit moving, and the dude's dead, they're still stomping on him. So
what did he do?
Something else.
What did he do for that?
He was hot, man. He turned out to be a rat.
And they stomped him to death.
They stomped him to death. Me and a couple of guys from New Orleans watched from the laundry, and we actually said, man, when he died, man, there he went. You could see when he died.
That's crazy, man. What about?
We were locked down for 2 days.
That's it, huh?
That's it. 2 days, back up and running. Don't worry about it.
Everybody was back to normal.
That's right.
That's right, man.
Who did the dude run with?
Crazy.
You said he was Mexican. Who did he run with when they stomped him?
PRM. I think it's Puro Raza Mexicano or something like that. PRM. It's a Texas thing. Yeah, when I'm there's a bunch of Texas gangs for the Mexicans.
Oh yeah, the Pistoletos, all kinds of
the Tongos, all of them.
Yeah, a lot of different gangs. So how about in the street though down there in Fort Worth? Is there a lot of gangs in the street, or is it just jail thing?
Man, Fort Worth, Texas is like really gangland, man. In the 90s, when all the Bloods and the Crips came over from California, they came to our city, man, and it became real bad. And then you got the ABTs and the Aryan Circle are a real big deal in my city. I'm not with the white supremacist bullshit at all. I'm a child of God. I don't believe anybody's better than anybody. I've never been under that mind frame, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people out there that are, man. There's a lot of hate out there in my city, and I've watched methamphetamine tear my city up, you know what I mean? And then almost 1,000 people got taken off the streets just on this case alone. You know what I mean? There's a lot of grandmas and aunts and uncles raising babies because of this.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's deep, man, what you just said, man. A lot of grandmothers and aunts raising babies. Ain't that something, man?
That's a son of a bitch, man.
That's something. So kids are growing up without mothers, without fathers, and they don't discriminate down there in Texas. They lock women up too, man, and bang them too.
Man, there's so many girls on my case. Hey, man, I can tell you this. My chick used to get so mad at me because I would leave her for a couple days at a time when I did my thing. But she's one of the only women that's not involved in this conspiracy, and she loves me for it now. You know what I mean?
Thank God.
Because a lot of those girls are doing a lot of time. I think you're doing a thing with one of my co-defendants, Susan, who's got a lot of time.
What's the last name? Well, it don't matter. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
It's either me or Lisa, but it's all good. Hey.
Yeah.
So look, man, being at what you've been through, I mean, you dropped a couple jewels today, but if you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell your younger self, man?
Man, that's a lie, man. That it's a lie. That money is not what you think it is, and that it's never going to be enough. I wish that I would have just put my energy and my focus into anything positive, man, when I was younger, rather than what I was doing, trying to attract attention and just want to be known for something. It was never really what I was anyway. You know what I mean? As a man, you got to harness that when you're young. You got to harness all that pride and everything that you had. And it took me a long time to get it. Unfortunately, it was a little late for me when I figured it out. I was already sitting behind a 20-year bid, and I'm fighting from behind the 8 ball. But, you know, for the ones that are out there that haven't already made that decision, that aren't sitting on a bid like me, man, listen, man, it's not too late. It's not too late to be a dad to your kids, to be a son to your mom and your dad, you know, to be a brother, to be a father, to be everything that you're supposed to be, man. Because this stuff you see on TV is not how it's going. And I don't care about what you think them rappers are doing. They're going to tell it when they get caught, just like the rest of these chumps.
Listen, man, I definitely appreciate you coming on. I know that, you know, you're coming on live right from the penitentiary, man, and you're one of the first dudes I've ever been able to interview like that. I want you to do me a favor, man. Spin that camera. Can you spin the camera around and let people see what that cell looks like, where they'll be living at?
Let's see it. Let's see this. Hold on.
That's it, man. For 20 years, that's it, man. That's how they're going to be living for 20 years.
That's it, man.
You got any food? You got any food in that locker? Can you hear me?
We got a little bit, man. We got a little bit.
All right. Because I know sometimes people go to bed hungry. You ever went?
Yeah, I said we got a little bit of food in there, man. Can you hear me?
You ever went to bed hungry?
Oh, man, too many times, man. Too many nights in the shoe, man. If they don't know about shoe life, they've never gone to bed hungry, man.
Yeah, but you know, they hear stories that the food in the feds is great. Is it?
Oh, that's a lie from the pit of hell. It might have been great 20 years ago, man. The food in the feds is shit. I'd like to send you a picture sometime. Especially since the coronavirus, man. They're feeding us in bags every day.
Still eating bologna sandwiches, bro?
We get a cornflake, a pack of cornflakes and an apple in the morning. You know what I mean?
Horrible, man.
That's it.
That's horrible. So look, man, I'm going to close the show because I don't want you to get jammed up or anything. But, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to tell the people, man, Blood on the Razor Wire, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video. Federal prison is real. State prison is real. These people don't care. They don't care what lawyer you get. None of that stuff matters anymore. That stuff might have mattered, you know, like he said 20 years ago, like with the food. But same thing goes with lawyers, man. You can't buy your way out of the feds, man. You just can't do it. So, listen, man, I appreciate you. Tell everybody, man, again, man, Blood on the Razor Wire. Until tomorrow, we're out of here.